Nick Cannon Mornings on Power 106. You know it's that time for the up close and personal conversations. Yes, close conversations with people that I admire, that I look up to, and that are really just fixtures in the game, doing big things. And this man is all the above and so much more. I mean, truly an urban philosopher, a true motivator, and he got that TM 104 out right now.
Yes, sir.
The icon in the building, Jeezy.
What's happening, G?
What's happening now? Now you know we go way back.
For sure.
But is it official now? It's like it's just Jeezy. Like
yeah. It's been Jeezy about 3 albums ago.
Okay, and then so when people. I know because other fans might refer like, oh, that's Young Jeezy because they grew up.
Yeah.
You still you ain't on some Bow Wow stuff like I ain't my name ain't like you just.
It depends on who it is.
Who it is. The ladies can still call you Young
Yeah.
Jeezy. Cause you still the crazy thing is you've aged in reverse. You look younger now than when you first came in the game. Now is that just good living? Well, like where's that? Is that just you know once you get a little paper about yourself, once you get more knowledge of yourself, you learn how to take better care of yourself.
It's definitely the knowledge.
Yeah.
Because it was times where I was what I thought I was eating, right, but I was cutting certain things but still eating bread.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Cutting certain things but still drinking every night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like not even drinking enough water.
Yeah.
You don't when you come from where we come from, like you don't even
facts. You don't understand it. We sit here drinking water in the morning time.
You don't add those factors in, so it's just like when I just started educating myself on certain things, because you gotta have a strength to be out here.
Facts.
You gotta be at your best. There's a lot of things coming at you, so you gotta be
mentally, spiritually, all of that.
Yeah. So when I started learning that. And I saw the effect. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I just started. I've always been disciplined, but I just started making choices. Like, okay, this is more important than that. So even for my fans and the people that follow me, you know what I'm saying, I want to at least be that for them.
Man, that's a powerful word right there. A true urban philosopher. But I would even want to dig a little deeper on that because of a cat who's really from it. And really we've watched your growth and your hustle, and it says a lot. Like it's truly a testament of one's spirit when you can say, yo, I was a certain way, and now you can even see physically that I have a better lifestyle. It's not just about it ain't about we've been through the jewelry stages and all, and we got all of that.
I heard
and
you say that before about the watches.
Yeah.
I be paying attention.
Yeah, but not like you're one of the cats that I look up to see like, yo, you can see growth.
Yeah.
And a lot of people. Like I say this a lot. I say like, yo, if you take all of the actual money and material items and put somebody on an island by themselves, how rich would they actually be?
Right, and it's crazy you say that because the record on the new album with CeeLo Green, Already Rich, that's what it's basically saying.
Exactly. That's what I was going with.
You're born rich. You got integrity. You got morals. You got balance. You know what I'm saying? You got humility. Like all these things are important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To have a rich way of
spirit,
you know what I'm saying? So, and it's crazy you say that because it took me to have money, lose it, get it again, lose friends, risk my life for it, to just sit back and be like, okay, what's different?
Yeah,
and I might buy some more shoes. By the way, and with jewelry, like I spend millions and millions of dollars on jewelry. And we let my friends wear watches and lose it, or they come, people at my house, they putting on chains and I never see them again.
Right.
And to me, I feel like that was showing love.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's just like, you just making people spoiled.
Right.
Because it don't really mean nothing to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We passed it.
I wear black T-shirts for
because they already know you rich.
Right.
They already know you. Like you shine, you walk in the room and you have a presence. You don't need material items to get that attention.
Right. And it's crazy because it's like, for me when I came in the game, I really thought that that's what it was about.
Right. And we all do coming in, especially when you come from not having anything, and that's we've been preconditioned to believe like, oh, well, if I'm boastful and if I show people what I got, then that'll get the respect.
And by the way, you might not even have it. You know what I'm saying? You might just get enough to look like you got it.
Right.
And that's where it really get tricky. Because I used to have a cousin, he come around, he looked like it. Like, what you got going on? He's like, I'm gonna fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
But he never made it.
Oh, wow. He stayed faking it.
Right. So for me, I was just like, no, I gotta make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything I did, I looked at it like, if it didn't go with my goals or what I was aiming towards, I had to cut it off because it's like the game I played was life or death. jail of freedom. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So
facts.
When I got into the music game, it was easy to get caught up again because here now you got a game where, all these people flock to you because of who you are,
Yeah.
and they looking for you to take care of them.
Yeah, and it's a lot of facades.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like there's more facades in this industry than even in the street.
No, listen, music, the rap game,
right?
Definitely worse in the streets.
Yeah,
ain't no morals, ain't no integrity, ain't no honor, ain't no loyalty, ain't none of that.
None of it. Because there's a real code in the streets. Because there's real sacrifices and there's real circumstances.
Absolutely.
In the music game, because there's so many facades, and there's so many people hiding behind other things.
Right.
That you'll never get the real.
And not only that, they're not held accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Who's gonna be like?
Because then they always feel like, oh, it's entertainment.
Right.
This isn't supposed to be real jewelry. I'm not supposed to be really talking about what I'm from. No, I'm entertaining. So you don't have to be held accountable for things that you say on records.
It's crazy because the ones that, make it, I always thought it was crazy for you to make it out of a situation. And then have some success, but then you want to act like you
still doing
it.
Right.
So it's just
the
like
backwards mentality.
Man,
you hustling backwards.
Right. The only reason I took a record deal because I did not want to go to prison.
Right.
I analyzed my life. I thought like my mind worked like everybody knows me. My mind is like on all day. I'm 10 years ahead thinking.
Right.
That's just how I'm wired.
Right.
So when you put that with, I have friends that go do like, or cousins and uncles that go do 10, 15 years and they come back.
Right.
And that's their claim to fame. I did 15,
right.
I'm solid. I'm just like, nigga, I ain't about to do.
Nah, none of that.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
so for me, it was a reality check because even though, you think about jail, you think about stuff like that, you know what it is.
Right.
But mentally, you know what I'm saying? It would destroy me to sit somewhere and not be able to be productive.
Right.
Because I can't even sit in the house for a day
right,
and not get out and do something. You know what I'm saying? So you start thinking about 10, 15 years, and that's what I was up against. So a lot of my early records were me just wanting to be heard and really going like, I got to do something so I can get out of these circumstances. And when that record deal came up, I thought about it. And I could have stayed independent because I had the buzz.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember, man, it was so crazy.
I was just like, yo, I need a real check stub.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And to operate in this system to see, how to grow as a corporation. And you tapped in and like, it's so interesting because you were probably one of the first dudes that I ever really noticed that took inspiration in the streets and put them together.
Yeah.
And really was talking motivation.
Yeah.
But just saying like, yo, it ain't like you to be in these streets, you gotta be intelligent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you gotta know how to move. And you were giving words of advice and wisdom in your songs and like really define thug motivation for TM 101 to now
Team 104.
104.
Yeah, but the thing that
I think they're gonna teach this in schools eventually.
Man,
when
they
they
got to.
I think that's how you set it up from like 101. That's like a class, and you were teaching class.
Professor Snow.
Yeah, and to like if you put this whole body of work together from 101 to 104, it tells a remarkable story of someone who came from nothing, spoke things into existence, got to it, had some obstacles, and now here as a wise man can tell you all about it.
Yeah, because if you really break down the albums, they're like movies.
Right.
So Thug Motivation 101 was Let's Get It. So that was like when I was coming out the box, like I got to get everything I can get.
Right.
Then 102, we didn't even put the stamp on it, but it was the inspiration. So now you're in a position you can inspire people.
Yeah.
103 was Hustler's Ambition. So I'm still ambitious about what I'm doing. I want you to see that.
Right.
And then you get to 104, which is if you got the movie, which is 101. The sequel, which is 102, the trilogy, which is 103.
Yeah.
Now we gotta go back to the documentary.
To
the grit, the grind, where it
the
really
prequel,
came,
where it all came
all
from.
the little things that came. My cousin that stole my money out of. I used to have I used to DJ in my room.
Right.
I had SP 1200s, but I used to hide my money in little
Underneath.
crates.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And she figured it out and she stole it.
Wow.
So, I'm talking about the little things.
The things that make Jeezy.
Right. You know what I mean? And that's what the Legend of the Snowman. And a lot of people, when you look at the cover, they go, yo, what is that? That's a T-shirt that I saw when I was doing Trap or Die that was on the side of the road at a stand by the West End when I was riding. I was in my low-key car.
Right.
And I'm still in the street, but I got Trap or Die out.
Right.
And I'm riding past the mall and I look, and I see this stamp on my face, and I was like, yo, I know that guy.
Right.
And it's me. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I was just like, yo, one day I'm gonna do something with that, and I had my guy find it. But the thing about it to me is like, I know my worth, I know my value. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, I look at myself as the Frank Sinatra of the trap. You know what I'm saying? The Sade of this.
Yeah,
you know,
the Frank Sinatra of the trap.
I'm gonna always stick with what I know.
Right.
Because nobody can be Jeezy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I came in the game when it was crunk music, when it was
Yeah.
snap. And I always think to myself, what if I would have, you know, went to that because that's what was
Because
happening.
what was popping at
Right.
the time.
You know what I'm saying? So even now it's like, you know, I hear the difference in the music, but it's just like I'm not here for that at this point. I am here to motivate. I never said I was a rapper or a trap rapper. I said I was motivating the thugs and the people that was like them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's just like, when I look at it and the things that I say, and you know, you go back and you look at the history of what I was saying, I was just always trying to inspire people because this is my way of giving back, because I know what I've been through. And when you go back and think about it, when you come from where we come from, there's not really a lot of places you can get information from to survive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you run into a situation, like how do you?
There's no 101, you know, manual or to say, look, this is how you operate out here amongst the sharks.
And I had to learn by trial and trial. So I just feel like that was my way of letting people know. And if you really look at the albums, to me, they're like self-help books.
Yeah.
They're like, you know.
That's what I was getting to, like from 101 to 104. Those are volumes of like
and every
inspiration.
Every song is a chapter.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, even with this new album, you might not need every song every day. Just like you might not need every chapter of every book you read.
Right.
Like sometimes you might get inspired. Like, you know what, chapter 9 was telling me how to deal with, you know, fake friends or fake situations. Now you gotta listen to Fake Love.
Right.
Or you got something going on with a family member. Now you go listen to The Real MVP with John Legend.
Right.
Because it's bits and it's crazy because with me, I would listen to a lot of Pac when I was coming up.
Right.
Because I just felt like he knew the rules. And,
right.
And I got that. So that's how
he operated by the code.
Right. He was militant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was solid, you know, and he was still ambitious. Like, he was doing things that, you know, most rappers or most people at his age and in his era wasn't doing. Like, he was doing acting, he was doing modeling, he was doing this. He had different sets of friends.
As an activist, he was really speaking. And
So when I look at that, you know what I'm saying, I look at, you know, where I came from and the things I was going through, you know what I'm saying, I just feel like there was nobody like that in the game.
Yeah.
So when the things that I had, I wanted to share.
Yeah.
Because it's been times, bro, you know, when you bite off more than you could chew. And it's just like, who can you call?
That's
you
real.
You call your big homie, he shook too.
Yeah.
He like, I don't know what to tell you, little homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure it out. You know what I mean?
That's real conversation, man. And we having a close conversation with the motivator.
Yes, sir. The urban, like Jay Billis say, the urban philosopher.
Absolutely. And it's funny, man, like knowing you for quite some time and seeing the progress in the game, and even, you know, I mean, everybody used to talk about Jeezy ad-libs.
Yeah.
And now, like, people really just got records just with ad-libs. Like, no verses. Like, you kind of came in and did some stuff. And I remember I was in the studio in New York with Jeezy, and I was probably one of the first. I remember, you know, DJing and stuff, and I played the record. It was the Shorty Low remix with They Know, and I played it for Jay. He hadn't heard the verse yet, and he heard Joe, and this was Jay-Z's words, but he's like, Jeezy arrived. like off of that verse, like, to me, that was one of the coldest verses in hip hop. And you was so in your bag. You was so like, and it was, and like, you know, like I said, I'm listening to the whole one of the greatest. I'm just happen to be in the studio with him up at Baseline, and I know y'all was close, and to hear him say that about you, about a verse, and he was like, yo, all his albums, but that verse, right? Like, at that time, when you hit those certain spots and you catch that certain wave, and you like to me, even when that song come on, that verse, like, everybody knows that verse, like, from little kids to women to, it's when you have those type of moments in music, and then keep riding the wave, because then, like, from there it just kept, and like, I looked up, and I think like the next year you was on tour with Jay, and it was, and it just, that's when it just kept going and going. Tell me about those moments in your career when you go from being the trap rapper, the favorite, to a superstar. to where people are quoting your lyrics. You got video. Like, what is that life like?
I remember writing that verse. I was at the studio on the West Side, and I did two features that night. I did that and the Rocco I'ma Do Me verse.
Oh, that was crazy too.
I did them the same night, like back to back.
Yeah.
And I was rushing to finish the They Know verse because I had to go do something.
Yeah.
And so I had like maybe like 4 bars of it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, I gotta go. So I told him, I said, bring it back one more time.
Yeah.
And I just spazzed out.
Yeah.
So I didn't write the rest.
Oh,
And when I heard the mix,
yeah.
I was like, yo, I said I want to write it. He's like, no, just let it go. And I remember that it came out, and I just remember being in the club in Atlanta and just seeing the reaction and going like, no, this is crazy. Because I heard the song when I went to do a radio interview in Atlanta with Greg Street, and I was like, yo, who was that? And it was like, this Shorty Low new song.
Yeah.
And my first thing was like, I got to call Shorty Low.
Yeah, that joint crazy.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace to the
guy.
guy.
Yeah, rest in peace to Shorty. So I did the verse to give to him.
Oh, right,
so
right.
He didn't ask me to do the verse.
Oh, right.
So I was just hoping he wanted it.
Yeah, yeah,
And then he
yeah.
called me. He's like, yo, we got to shoot the video. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And how I knew it was real, I was out in Magic City one night, and me and Jermaine Dupri and all this was out, and they came on. Jermaine looked at me, he said, you got to shoot this video.
Yeah.
And I was just like, really? He was like, yeah, but even now to this day, I don't care what coast I'm on, what city, the Bay, L.A., Detroit, Chicago, when them horns drop,
what?
It's a rap.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a rap.
Hopped up out that pretty motherfucker like, hello.
Yes, sir.
Like,
that part.
Man, I'm telling you. And it just, it's one of those things where you don't get those type of capsules in hip hop often.
Yeah.
To where it's like, yo, that joint was super special.
You get, everybody in their career get those, I look at the, the Kendricks and the J. Cole's and the, and the Hoes and the Kanye, even that Kanye put on verse. Like, everybody get them one or two.
Yeah, right.
Just like, when you just know they was present.
Yeah.
They wasn't thinking about nothing that was going on in the world.
God was in the building.
Yeah,
God was in the
Holy
room.
Ghost
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the booth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get those ones, and you got to cherish that because, as artists and people that make art, we just have our special moments, and they unexpected. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, even for, that's crazy you said that because I remember I was on tour with Jay, and we was doing Detroit. And, anybody knows me know like Detroit's my second home.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because it was like people from Detroit thought they missed my show.
Oh.
Because the way the show was set up. You would think I would open for Jay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we had it so that in the middle of his show, I would come out.
You come out, yeah.
For my 30, 45 minutes, and he'll come out and finish the show.
Right.
So the whole time, you got 30,000 people in the arena.
Yeah.
And they like, damn, we miss Jeezy.
Yeah.
And then I come out the floor and it's like, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Shorty Low shit.
Yeah.
And the whole fucking shit was shaking.
Lost it, yeah.
And yo, when I got off stage, Jay pulled me to the side. He's like, yo, you got some fucking real estate out here? You live out here?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They got nothing but love from you, from really being from it, from really being present in that community. And I mean, as we all know, even prior to the rap and during the rap, like, you moved around in a way, and I remember those times too in the early 2000s. Like when y'all would move with the t-shirts and like it was different, man. Like I've never seen hip hop like, especially in Atlanta. Like y'all had LA, y'all had New York, y'all had Detroit, but Atlanta, Magic City,
crazy.
It's like legendary, the story. Like you go to Magic City and it'd be dollars up to your knees.
Yo, they used to bring the girls trash bags to carry their money out.
Yo.
And then it was just think about this now. You go in there, you fuck up $500,000. They only recycling the ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And bringing the same ones
right.
for you to throw them back up. And I remember I looked at my man. I was like, yo, I think I spent enough for the night. He was like, nah, man. We got to keep giving back. We taking care of single moms, all this shit. And that's how they looked at it. Like,
yeah.
Just give it back. And for me, it was different because it was almost like my calling card. Because, then I was learning how to promote myself. So I had like the Jeezy chain on.
Yep.
I would wear jerseys everywhere I went with my name on the back.
Yeah.
And I was really promoting. So I don't know what their goals was, but when I was spending money, like I was like, this is promotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I kept
And it worked because I was a young cat watching like, yo, them dudes is moving different.
And I used to go in there, rest in peace to DJ Fernando. He used to get on the mic, Jeezy the builder, what you need, 50,000? I'd be like, $100,000. Like shit.
You gotta spend it.
You gotta spend it.
That's like even now to this day, I don't go to the strip club because I'm like, yo, people expect. Oh, Nick Cannon coming in.
Right.
Like if such and such dropped 30 last night, he gotta drop 300. Like
yo, I used to go in there, man. I swear, man. And this is all week long.
Right.
You know, I don't know what they was doing, but I was budgeting mine out. So I was like, I'm gonna spend 100 tonight.
Right.
Tuesday's kind of light. I might, fuck up about 30.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Saturday night, I know what to do. So, when I was going in there, you might average it up. You're talking $500,000 a week for me. So not for everybody else.
Let's get this. Right. Throwing money in the strip club, $500,000 a week.
Yeah. And that was like, you had to do it. And I remember some nights I would go in there, man, and like even now, like, when I try to sneak in there, little times you might go in the corner or something, like, take care of your favorite, homegirl or whatever.
Yeah.
Boy, you gotta hear that locker room talk.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
He ain't spit.
He ain't even spit. It ain't like it used to be. I remember, like that's like literally.
I'm like, damn,
I
baby,
get scared now. Right.
They got, you know what I'm saying?
We did our charitable work.
Right. You know what I mean?
Those philanthropy days are, and it's funny though because you say it is giving back to the community, but it's really being that presence. It's really showing to where it's like, yo, I'm a man of the people.
Yeah.
I can come touchdown, and those institutions, which I call them strip clubs and institutions, that's like cornerstones in our communities, from the barbershops to the strip clubs to the local restaurants. You gotta feed, you gotta give back to what's yours, and that's how we operate.
And not even just that, it was just like with Magic and Magic City and everything that was going on. It's like that was the office. So every street cat from Maine to Spain had to come through there and get a checkout. Yeah. And that's why we really took care of the girls the way we did and everybody, because you would have insight on people, people pillow talking. And,
wow, that's deep.
It's an office.
Yeah.
So all the hustlers got to come through that.
Right. And you just see how a person moved to see if they were certified or not. Or just
who could check them out.
Right.
And if you really think about it, it was
who
like,
was thirsty, who was capping. And
it's a business card.
Yeah.
Who's snitching, who's informants. And it's a business card for the hustlers. If I go in there and I, fuck off, $500,000, why would you be afraid to spend $3 million with me?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Wow, I never looked at it like that.
I'm consistently there, so I'm not running from anything.
Right.
So
you know where I'm at. Right. You know where I'm going to be.
Right. So
wow.
And it was an office, so you go there. And I started going to Magic like really young, you know what I'm saying? Like some of my older cousins used to take me in there. And, I kind of built a relationship with the girls to the point where they had a lot to do with how my music got broken there when I started doing music. Right. Because they would dance to my music on Love.
Right, right.
Because they knew me.
Right.
So I go in there like, yo, Jeezy in here. And like, I want to dance on Jeezy song to my set.
Yeah.
I shoot them, a little 5, whatever. And it started like that. But then on the street level, they would be like, yo, don't get too close to him. He a robber.
Right.
Don't talk too close to her because she ain't right.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like everything that was in the street that was popping.
Real intel.
Was in that building. And Magic City's 2 times bigger than this.
Yeah, it ain't big
so
at all.
Every hustler, every robber, every gang member.
From one corner, yeah.
And that was the office, and that's how that was the nucleus of Atlanta.
Yeah.
When it came to the streets. So
that's real.
Who riding real cars, who riding rentals,
right?
Who riding the chop cars,
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Who's boosting, whose credit card scam, like, all this in that building. One thing I tell you about Atlanta is that those girls in the strip club know everything about
everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real talk.
Yeah.
And we having real conversation, close conversations with young Jeezy, Nick Cannon mornings. And it's funny that you mentioned that because, and I love the fact that you speak so candidly and open because coming from that time when it was different in the early 2000s, the culture has shifted quite a bit. Right. We were praised for being hustlers, motivators, dealers, but now the culture has shifted to the user culture. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these cats in hip-hop are glorified. Like, we used to talk about moving weight, serving packs, cooking up, and then it shifted to using and popping and taking. And it, as someone who has a bird's eye view of the community, I'm like, oh wow, they flipping it on us, because the motivation period was building our kings up. Now, if we in a period where it's like, yo, you're using and depression is at all time high, suicide is at all time high, like, have they taken our culture and used it against us? And now our babies are the ones that are being the artists and expressing themselves, and they're expressing a different message. It ain't about the hustlers. Right. Like I was just in visiting. You know, I do a lot of stuff inside a lot of these prisons, and we was talking, and it was like, yo, we used to see hustlers come through here, and we used to have to, it was a little more intense in here from with the COs and all that, because cats was really brolic. But now it's cats, like, it's a lot of mental health, and you gotta kind of help build these kids up, and it's like you see a whole different culture even in the prison system. Like, cats is different because where did the hustlers go? Where did the motivators go?
I just left the Wayne County detention center talking to some kids 2 days ago in Detroit. Me personally, just watching how the game works and understanding it has a lot to do with who raised them. Right,
because they took our hustlers away from us, so ain't nobody raising us no more.
These kids were raised by the computer.
Right.
What they see, the internet.
Right.
And then not only that, is they're running from things and they're trying to numb it. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's why they glorified it, because they being users.
They want
because they want to escape.
Yeah, they want to be numb. They want to be high. They don't want to look at reality because it's real. I mean, even for us as black men,
facts.
Grown, it's like we still deal with shit every day. They go, oh man, I gotta go. All right, fucking man, tie my shoes up and deal with this because it's real life. But they don't want to get to that point. They fear will kill anything. Dreams, hopes.
Yeah, once the greatest destroyer.
Yeah, so once you can't deal with fear, what do you do? That's right. Anybody they go get high. They
try to escape. However,
so that's what you got, and they glorifying it because it's like, if you listen to the music, is and just like when we was coming up, what I'm saying, our music glorified what we felt. We wanted to be hustlers. We wanted to be rebellious. We wanted to make it. But with them, they cool with making their money, spending it on things that they think make sense for them at the time,
right?
And then glorifying running away,
right?
So they're not standing up to what's really their problems, you know what I'm saying? And then if you really look at it, and you look back, how they even locking them up, like these kids are kings, you know what I'm saying? They're out here really, and by the way, I always took the outlook of, when you do this, you know what I'm saying, you got to be willing to die for it. You got to be willing to sacrifice, have discipline for it, because you're a leader. No matter what you think. People are following what you do. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't ready to do that, it's like being in the club. You can't go give everybody a microphone. There's a reason why, this person has a microphone and he's the DJ. Or this person has a microphone and he's the artist.
Right.
Because he has something to say and people listen to that.
Yeah.
They praise that. So when you give everybody a microphone that has something to say and they're not a leader, and they already hiding from what they're hiding from.
Right.
They're gonna express their feels with everybody else. I'm popping
and
it's just like, that's cool. But at the end of the day, like, how can you? Even myself, like, I had to get to the point where, you know what I'm saying, I had to even cut back on drinking to a certain point because it's like, this is my job. Like, I can't be like,
drinking on a job.
You don't hear no drunk preacher.
Yeah.
Like, go to church,
that's real. Don't nobody hear no drunk preacher.
He like, damn, like, you all right today?
Yeah.
So my thing is, I ain't gonna never knock what the homies do because the little homies do because they're hustlers and they figured out something that we didn't figure out. I told Tip the other day.
Because there's more money in hip hop now than ever before.
They figured that part out.
Yeah.
So my only advice is, like, when you out here, you getting into these situations, just be mindful. These $5-6 million you missing, you know what I'm saying? Because you trying to prove a point you're gonna need when you're 35. You know what I'm saying? Or your health that you run around here and you don't care. You don't
care because you're young.
You're gonna need that when you're 35.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing is, I want to be here to be able to enjoy the things that I work for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's like they tell boxers, keep your guard up while you're young, so you don't be punch drunk when you retire.
And when you tell them that, they look at you like you're crazy. Like, come on, man, you
did it. I saw you. Yeah.
But the thing, I ain't had nobody to tell me different.
Right.
Everybody telling me keep going. Come to the hood. Pull up. I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all shot 4 people over here today.
Right.
But it's just like, that's what they want. So my thing is, like, when you in a position of power like that, it's chess, not checkers.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand. You know, for me,
Set
I
your
tell them
board
all day,
up.
yeah, because if you do what's hard, your life will be easy. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. It's easy to go get high. It's easy to go do drugs. It's easy to do all. That's easy.
Yeah,
like, anybody can do that.
Facts.
But if you fight that and you come out on top, you spectacular.
Yeah,
there's a reason why we look at hold them the way we do.
Real talk.
Because everything that came at them, they either bobbed or weaved it or figured it out.
And overcame it.
Right. There's a reason why we look at Floyd the way we do.
Yeah.
He wins.
Yeah.
He's a winner.
You can say whatever you want to say about him.
He wins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why we look at Magic Johnson the way we do.
Yeah.
He wins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He does what he has to do to stay where he's at and keep evolving. That's the thing they don't understand. Like, if you don't evolve, like, you die.
Yeah.
If I didn't evolve, I'd have been gone, bro.
Right.
It wouldn't be nothing to talk about.
If you don't evolve, you die.
It's over. It's
that's
a wrap.
That's real right there. And you know what? I'm gonna say this too, because having this conversation just brings up so many things. And like, Jeezy always been solid. Like, and even from how we moved in our different encounters, always had that type of game, that type of wisdom, even if it was quick. And I always say it was a moment that I'll never forget. This is when I was like, yo, I realized how solid you were and just a good person. I was directing a video for my wife at the time, right. Mariah Carey, and it was a song you jumped on the remix to a record called Beautiful,
right?
And I was directing the video. And, still trying to be husband, all of this type of stuff. We did it in a nightclub in New York, and Jeezy was doing his verse in the front. I'm behind the camera. Mariah's on the bar behind Jeezy, and like a freak accident. You would never even think something like this would happen. Middle of the thing going on. Mariah reaches out to touch Jeezy's shoulder during his part and slips off the bar. Right, and lands right on her shoulder. And dislocates her shoulder. Like, you can see her shoulder is hanging out. And first thing, Jeezy just instantly takes control. I'm right, it's my wife. I jump in, I try to catch her. I caught her head. Because she could have hit her head, and it was all concrete. Jeezy, took control of the situation and was like, no. Called the paramedics, and Mariah is such a gangster. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go back and do it. And it was the scariest thing for me because, one, I'm the director and the husband. I'm like, oh shit, I done fucked up my wife's video and all that. But Jeezy was so cool, calm, and collected, and kept everybody at bay. It's a nightclub. Yeah. She got out there, and this was even more gangster thing. Shouts out to Mariah. She goes to the hospital. We think the video shoot is over. Like, I shoot a couple more scenes with Jeezy. I'm like, hours go by. 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe. Mariah calls me. I'm good. I'm on my way back. What? Lo, she literally comes back to the nightclub 3 hours or 3 a.m. in the morning, like 12 hours later, arm in a sling.
With feathers, by the way.
With feathers. And Jeezy comes back. Yeah. Like, he was like, yo, anything for it. What? And, like, probably got you out the bed, whatever you was doing. Yeah, got it done. We shot the video again from 3 a.m. to the morning time. Yes, sir. Did that. And I was like, yo, that's a real dude right there. Like, I don't know if I ever got to say thank you. That was just with real things like that when that stuff goes down. And, a lot of people would never even know that. And even still to this day, like, people used to see, like, Mariah had the sling and stuff, like a thing on her hand. Like, she still even deals with issues from that event to this day. And people don't understand how hard artists work, how dedicated they are to their craft, and how down they are for each other in situations like that. So, man, I commend you. Always looked up to you. TM 104 is out right now. That joint with the with Ty Dolla on there,
yes, sir.
with the Pretty Ricky sample was crazy. Yes, sir. I'm loving that. Like, me and Ty got a record out right now too. So nice. We gonna be
Ty the man right now. Though.
Right. I'll tell you, the new Nate Dogg.
You right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he jump on the hook. It's classic, certified. Solid. So make sure y'all go get that TM 104. But this my man. We done shared the accolades and everything, but I got the vest on. I still got to shoot from the hip. I got to put you in the fire and squad questions real quick. We going to get to it. Easy, off top always. First off, loved or feared?
Loved.
We already talked about that. We understand why. And then when it comes to fear, you talked about this already, but what's Jeezy's biggest fear?
Oh, man, just not let myself down, man, my people.
Yeah. There it is. That, like a true philosopher right there. Sir. Favorite movie of all time?
Boys in the Hood.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Menace? Yeah, rest in peace to John
Ricky.
Singleton. Yeah.
It's real.
All right, best piece of advice you've ever received?
Stay solid. Stay solid.
And you've been doing that.
Yeah, I mean, but just, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
Just don't alter how you think because of what somebody else brings into the equation.
Nah, worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, man.
Spend that 300 in Magic City one more time.
It was worse than that. The worst piece of advice I ever got was, I'll tell you this, the worst piece of advice I ever got, I took it and it didn't work for me, but I'll tell you why it was the worst. Because when it was all said and done, I was stuck holding the bag, and the people that advised me to go that route was nowhere around, so I had to figure it out.
Oh, that happens.
So,
that in business, that happens all the time.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I'm putting mine in too. You put yours in, I put mine, and they don't put nothing in, and they off your bag.
Yeah, you stuck.
Man, that happens all the time. Most prized possession?
My daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, smile.
There it is. That's real talk right there. Favorite cuss word?
Fuck it.
And then I would say 3 things on an island if you could take with you, what would they be?
Music, family, food.
They're the essentials right there.
Right.
And lastly, the one word that describes Jeezy.
Oh, man. Real.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Up close and personal. My man Jeezy. Album's out now. TM 104. Man, it's been a great conversation, dog.
It is. Love, bro.
Love.